Welcome to Mr. Chalk's Revision Tips. In this video, we will look at asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So, sexual reproduction needs two parents. So, the DNA used to make the offspring is a mixture of DNA from both parents, so 50% from each parent. Because the DNA combines from the gametes, so the sex cells of both parents, it produces variation in the offspring. The offspring has slightly different DNA to each of its parents and from each other unless they are genetically identical twins. So sexual reproduction involves the joining or fusion of male and female gametes. So sperm and egg cells in animals and pollen and ovule cells in plants. In sexual reproduction, there is a mixing of genetic information which leads to variety in the offspring, and it involves meiosis. Sexual reproduction involves the joining of two sex cells or gametes during fertilization. Organisms produced by sexual reproduction have two parents and are genetically similar to each other but not identical to either. So the advantages of sexual reproduction are that sexual reproduction involves the fusion of male and female gametes. So that is the sperm and the egg cells in a plant. So sexual reproduction leads to variety in the offspring, and it involves meiosis. The disadvantages of sexual reproduction are that it can take time and energy to find a mate. It is not possible for an isolated individual. It can take a long time, and it does not ensure that the best set of genes are necessarily kept together. So if we're describing the process and key features involved in sexual reproduction, it's things like sexual reproduction involves the joining of two sex cells or gametes during fertilization, and organisms produced by sexual reproduction have two parents and are genetically similar to both but not identical. Asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction that needs only one parent. The offspring produced is genetically identical to the parent. So this is because the DNA that offspring gets is an identical copy to the parent DNA. This can occur in plants and animals, so lots of cells reproduce like this, so do many organisms. So asexual reproduction only involves one parent and no fusion of gametes. There is no mixing of genetic information. This leads to genetically identical offsprings, so clones, and it involves mitosis. So like we've just said, asexual reproduction only involves one parent. There are some advantages of asexual reproduction. So the population can increase rapidly when the conditions are favourable. Only one parent is needed. It is more time and energy efficient as you don't need to mate. And it's faster than sexual reproduction. The disadvantages of asexual reproduction are that it does not lead to variation in population, so the species may only be suited to one habitat, and a disease may affect all the individuals within a population. So if we're looking at describing how a new plant is produced by asexual reproduction, so we're talking about the fact that it's not involving sex cells. So an individual splits into two or divides. So the parent cell copies itself or its genes. So a set of genes goes into the new cells. So each new cell is a clone of the parent cell. Thanks for watching.